badsecretmedia.com.
We so hate Bad Secret Media.
Gamers, welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. On this week's episode, we bring out that old useless clay, we make some freaking fighters out of it, and we put them to battle.
I'm player one, Toby.
And I am player two, Goobs.
We do a weekly retro video game review show where we talk about some very awesome, amazing games and then some just terrible piles of clay shit.
Yeah, clay shit indeed.
I mean, you know, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So that's what we do on the show. We decide if they're good or not so you can go back and play them, right?
Or you don't have to waste your time and just take our word for it, folks.
There you go. And we are also a part of the Somebody's Network.
Go check out all the great shows on that wonderful little network of ours.
And you can check out all the shows by going to Instagram and Twitter and looking up the username at Somebody's Net.
Tons of great people, tons of great shows.
Now, Goobs.
Now, Toby.
Are you ready to talk about this?
Talk about how our wonderful fans picked this wonderful game for us to wonderfully play?
Yes, because this was our Game of the Month.
And how would you get into the Game of the Month, Toby?
Well, if you want to pick garbage games or great games for us to play, you can put in your vote if you go to our Facebook group, which is called Secret Levels Group, and just vote.
Yeah, on Facebook, right?
Facebook, that's right. So you can vote, and if you wanted to, you could play the game with us, and you could write us up a little review that you would want us to read on the show, or you could send us some audio of you talking about how you loved or hated the game, and we'd play it right here.
It'd be great to hear the levelers' feedback. So that's what I'm calling you all now, the levelers.
The secret levelies.
Secret levelies. I did a heart with my hands. You guys can't see that, but you know there's love.
So yes, this game was picked for us, and it's funny because a lot of people were like, "Oh, Claymates is better. Y'all should play Claymates," even though that wasn't one of the choices.
We'll get to that eventually. There is some Claymates in this game, though.
Yes. So we kind of debated between the Clay Fighter, the original release of it for Super Nintendo, and the Tournament Edition. So we went with the Tournament Edition just because...
Let's be honest here, it's the same fucking game.
It's the same game, except they fixed a handful of things, and I'll get to that later. But we played Clay Fighter, the Tournament Edition for the Super Nintendo.
I kind of played both just because.
Yeah, I did too. I wanted to see what was different. And
well, the levels really stood out.
Did they?
Yeah, the backgrounds were totally different.
Ooh, we'll have to talk about that more in a minute. Let me give you some details on this game.
Let's hear the deets.
So, the original Clay Fighter was released November 15th, 1993. And this one, the Tournament Edition, Clay Fighter the Tournament Edition, was released May 1994.
It's like, oh shit, we fucked up. We better fix these bugs and release a real game.
Well, the Sega version was released June 23rd, 1994. So, I mean, it took a couple of months before Sega got it. And then after Sega got it, Super Nintendo got an updated one that fixed everything.
Suck it, Sega.
Well, and that's what I was real curious, but I never found this anywhere. If the updates were in the Sega version, and then they had to re-release it on Super Nintendo to match it or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that.
So this was developed by Visual Concepts. They did the Super Nintendo game, and Danger Productions did the animations. And there was a different company that actually did the development for the Sega, but I didn't write it down. Because we didn't play the Sega one, we played the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, the SNES version.
This was published by Interplay Productions. And it was released, again, on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. And it was also released on the Wii Virtual Store at one point. But I think it was actually the original version. It wasn't even the tournament edition where they had updated and fixed everything. So they sold the shitty version again, I think.
Hey, kudos to them, man. If they're going to keep making money off of something, go for it.
This is a 1 to 8 player game if you're in tournament mode, or it's a 1-player game. And 2-player if it's 1-on-1.
So unless you have the multi-tap, you're going to be passing controllers back and forth. I'm pretty sure this game isn't multi-tap compatible anyway, so you're probably just passing controllers around. So bring out that liquid germ killer shit, and because your friends are dirty, grubby bastards. You don't want them touching your beautiful controllers, so lubriderm the shit out of your hands.
Right.
Or spermicide. You never know what's on people's hands. You don't want to get pregnant off a Super Nintendo controller. It's happened before. How do you think I had a kid?
Oh.
Just joking. Love you, Jenny. Here's your shout out.
So this is a fighting game, a 1-on-1 fighting game. And, Goobs, there is a story.
Yeah, there was one hell of a wacky story. Let's hear it. It's story time with Toby.
A mysterious purple meteor comes crashing down to Earth from about a bajillion miles away. It actually says about a bajillion miles
scientific.
away.
That's science, folks.
It crashes into a rundown circus and changes it from playland to clayland. This creates 8 different clay creatures. Now, the 8 have only one goal: to be the king of the circus. How will they decide who runs
That's a lofty goal, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like, if I told my parents that's what I would grow up to be, I probably would have got a fucking side of clay upside the head.
So how will they decide who runs this new clay circus? Well, a tournament, of course.
To the death.
Yes, so they must battle to determine the king of the circus. And that's the simple story to it. They just want to be king of the circus.
That's it, folks. Do you want to be the king of the circus? I know I want to be. It's gonna be May. There's a Backstreet Boys and or NSYNC reference as well.
Perfect.
They're all one in my head.
So this game should take a little under an hour to beat. There's only 11 stages if you're playing the single player mode.
An hour for that?
What's
It didn't take nearly close to an hour for me.
I said under an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So speedrun.com has a record set by Nerdy Nestor on hard of 10 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yeah, that's speedy.
And Goobs, I threw my hat in the ring trying to...
Yeah, you sent me some messages saying you're trying to do some speed running. I'm like, I was all positive for my partner in crime here.
Yeah.
I'm behind you. I'd be there with a towel, like, rubbing the sweat off your head and fingers.
Well, when I beat it, and I was like, man, this was a fun playthrough, or decent. Let me rephrase that. This was a decent playthrough. And I thought, man, maybe I want to see what the speedrun looks like. And I saw what they did, and it's really neat. And I'll talk more about it more in the gameplay. But you can stun your enemies, and I was like, I think I can do that. And I was making some pretty good time, but I got to the 6th boss, and man, I can't. If it's Tiny, and then blue suede goo.
Yes,
he's the one that would get me.
It's also my porn name. Oh.
But yeah, so I tried. I was not successful. I posted 2 of the tries on YouTube if you want to go check out what a first-time speedrunner looks like. I tried about 30 times before.
Hey, you got the timer up on there, which I was impressed by that at least.
Yeah, I was trying to look official. I was trying. But anyways, so I'm coming for that record.
I'm still trying to be Donkey
Nestor.
Kong before best those other two guys.
You ready to talk about some gameplay, Goobs?
Yes, let's talk about gameplay. The gameplay.
So this is your typical fighting game. It's like a Street Fighter, a Mortal Kombat, or the legendary Shaq Fu.
Oh, fuck's sakes. This is better than that one, at least.
Yeah, it really is. It's a lot better than Shaq Fu. So you know it's going to at least be higher in the ranking than Shaq Fu.
It's your typical, you're looking at the side-scroller kind of view. You got your characters on the screen. The backgrounds are pretty interesting in this game, which they differ, as we were talking about before, from the original version and the Tournament Edition. And they just added, like, more clay style to it. You can really notice that in the bonker stage, instead of, like, a weird, like, face, it's a really big, weird clown face now, all done in clay. It's really fucking disturbing, to be honest with you. And Helga's stage is a big clay boat, and the Ichabod stage is totally different.
Man, I
Instead
didn't
of, like,
even pay
inside of a
attention.
castle, it's like you're in a graveyard and stuff like that.
I was not paying attention when I played the other version.
I noticed that right away when I went back to play the original after playing Tournament Edition. I was like, that's fucking different. I don't remember that. So I went through and, like, level per level, back and forth, and yeah, they're totally different.
That's weird. I mean, that's cool. What's really cool about this game, I'm going to give it a little pat on the back right away, is these are actually clay. These characters were actually made out of clay. They were sculpted out of clay. And
Yes, they were.
They did exactly what they did on Mortal Kombat, like took pictures of the real people, in this case of the clay.
Just like how they would make any claymation film.
It's really cool. I give that a lot of credit for, especially, back in, what do we say, 94?
Yep.
I mean, I know it's exactly
Well,
like
93, 94.
Right. It's exactly like Mortal Kombat, but still, I think that's really cool. So I'm giving it a little kudos.
It was kind of innovative, like something different, because when you saw this hit the shelves as a kid, you're like, oh shit, what's this? Like, those are cool looking characters.
Yeah.
They're like have a little bit of edge to them, like Bad Mr. Frosty. His name is right in the fucking title. He's bad.
I can't tell you how many times I rented this as a kid.
Oh yeah, you'd have friends over, or cousins, or siblings, and like, yeah, let's go rent this game and have a tournament, yo.
So, like we were saying, it's your typical, fighting game. Your health is at the top. There's a timer at the bottom, but it's represented by a bomb and a fuse, which I think is funny. I never let that run out. Does it blow up or anything, or do you know?
I've never let it run out, but I'm pretty sure it blows up.
I wish I should have done it just to see, but I didn't. So there's 8 playable characters to choose from. There's Helga, an opera singer. Ichabod Clay, who is like a ghost-like creature with a pumpkin head.
Blue Sway Goo, who's an Elvis impersonator.
Yep.
Pretty much. You got Blob, who's he's exactly what it sounds, a blob, and like one of my favorite guys to play as. The aforementioned Bad Mr. Frosty.
You got Tiny, who is a strongman. You got Bonker, who's a clown. And Taffy, who is a candy taffy creature, I guess?
Yeah, he's just a whole bunch of saltwater taffy.
Yep.
Come down and buy it from my shop for $9.99. Tastes delicious in your mouth.
Who's your favorite character to play as?
I really like Blob.
Blob?
Or he's good. Taffy was one of the ones I used to play as a kid. 'Cause I just loved his design. Like, he's all springy and gooey and fun. But on this one, I went the same guy you did, actually, Ichabod Clay. He's so cheap, man.
He is. That's why everyone speedruns with him.
To spam that strong kick, that's all you need to do.
Yep. See, when I was a kid, I always played with either Blob or Bad Mr. Frosty.
And funny that you say that. Those are the two characters that actually were in every single Clay Fighters game.
Yeah, right. Now, like you said, this time I did play with Ichabod. Now, when I was playing through the game, because I tried out all the characters, and I noticed that Ichabod had a Shuriken type move, like Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter.
Yes.
And he had like a Hadouken move, so that's why I stuck with him. I had no idea about how cheap his moves were. So that's who I was playing with. Like,
Pretty much he uses a strong kick and it shoots his like ghost rags out really far, and you can just smash the shit out of people with that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And if you catch them in the air with that, it hits them every single time until they hit the ground. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep, you can juggle. Now, in the tournament edition, they actually have a hit counter for like juggling or combos. They didn't have that in the first game because it wasn't like something they were really pushing for. This entire franchise is built off of comedy. Like, this whole thing is supposed to be making fun of all the other fighting genre video games. And that's why they went all weird and goofy with it, because it's supposed to just be making fun of everything.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
You can change the difficulty and the game speed in the options. I think you can do that in the regular edition too, but I didn't double check it.
Oh, so I can make it faster? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so...
I'm a Street Fighter 2 Turbo kind of guy. I like the fast fighting. I like my fighting like I like my sex.
Fast and aggressive.
Exactly.
Well, so there's 3 different difficulty settings. There's easy, medium, and hard. And then on the speed meter, it goes from 1 to 8. And it doesn't speed up like when you jump or anything. It just speeds up the animations of like...
Okay.
If you punch, they punch a lot quicker, but it doesn't actually speed up your character. It can be an advantage or a disadvantage depending on the character that you are. I think there's one character that has a harder time blocking stuff or doing their moves because of the speed or something. There's something weird to it. I read a lot of speedrun stuff.
Yeah, try to get your strats in, man.
Yeah, so...
It's all about the strat life.
There's one character you don't want to be if you're playing at level 8 speed, because it just doesn't work correctly or something. And this is the updated version. Remember that. This is the one that should work good.
Yeah, well, this one is the updated version, but yeah, you get that dreaded L word. 3 letters. Lag.
Lots of lag. Lots of slowdown.
You're fighting one-on-one with another sprite. You don't think there should be lag. Like Mega Man, you can understand a bit of lag, especially Mega Man X, when there's tons of sprites coming at you, tons of bullets, everything like that. You can understand that. Like, okay, this game can only handle so much. This is one-on-one. And no other fighting game I've ever played, even Shaq Fu, didn't have lag like this.
Yeah.
You'd be fighting someone, just like, all of a sudden, just like, goom, 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 just gets all clunky on you. It's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, seriously, this is the updated version of this game and it's still bullshit?
Right.
I experienced that on the first one as well. I'm getting passionate about the lag.
No, it's legit there, and it is a big problem. Oh, one last thing I wanted to say about the speed on the animation. It doesn't affect walking, falling, and jumping speed. So that's...
just your punching.
Just your punching, just your kicking, and your projectiles and stuff.
That really doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Because in Street Fighter, like, I'm going back to that again, like, everything goes faster.
Yeah. Speed. The
you're jumping, you're strafing, you're blocking, everything goes.
Yep.
Man, that just lost a point for me.
So the basic setup for the buttons are you have a low punch, a high punch, a low kick, and a high kick. And then your D-pad where you press up to jump and left and right, and down makes you duck. It's pretty basic for your typical fighting game. I know there's some oddball ones out there where you have to press different buttons, but Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, that's the best way to compare it to.
Yeah, you try any of the move combos from any of those games and something will happen.
Yep. And they do have a lot of moves that are similar. Like, they do have characters that can perform grabs, kind of like Zangief. They have the projectile attacks. You can throw opponents. It's more like Street Fighter if we're comparing, I think.
The E-Honda fly forward attack.
Yes.
Helga definitely does that.
Right. If you hold the throw button, apparently, which I wasn't able to do this, but if you hold the throw button, it'll continue to do damage. And the only way to break out is to press up and down, or so you'll go back and forth to break out. So if you get grabbed in this game, just up and down, up and down, up and down, and it'll break you out.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck do I do? I got grabbed by someone. I'm like, I'm button mashing.
Yeah, because it'll damage you. I mean, that health goes quick.
Some of the hits that you take in this game is absolutely brutal. Like, I was fighting the other Ichabod Clay, And he did some weird punch thing. It took away more than half my health. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
So while I was speedrunning, because like I said, I played about 30 or so more times in a row, trying to get the record, or trying to just get on the leaderboard. I'm not trying to break any records. But anyways, there was one of my last runs before I gave up for the night. It was against Helga, because that's who you start off against every time. It's the same order of enemies when you play one-player mode. Anyways, she beat me in 3 hits. And I still don't know how she did it. And I had it recorded. I deleted it already. But I wanted to go back and be like, how the fuck did she do that?
She's a temptress.
Yeah, I don't know. But so let me tell you the speedrunner thing with Ichabod and let you in on the secret. So the main thing that you're trying to do is you let your opponent jump over you. And right before they land, their sprite is looking the opposite direction. So you use that little, that strong kick or the low kick or whichever one, and it'll stun them.
The tail whip?
Yes, it's like, yeah, that's what it's more like. It's like a tail whip. So it stuns their sprite, and they can't turn around. It takes a couple extra frames for them to turn around.
Just mash that shit.
If you can time it, you can stun lock them to where they can't move out of it, and you can just keep comboing them. So that's the strategy that I saw, anyways.
Cheap as fuck, but hey, it's a world record.
Yeah. And like I said, I can do pretty decent up until Blue Suede Goo. And then it all just goes to hell. Tiny gives me a little run for my money, too.
That name is just so wrong. Blue Suede Goo.
So some of the moves will cut characters in half. Like Blob has the saw blade or blue.
Oh, I love that when he flies right through and slices them. He's like, ah!
Right, and then Blue Suede Goo has like this. He can make his hair cut you in half and stuff. Which
yes, he can.
It's really cool because it does. They're all clay, so they just kind of cut in half and then they form back together. But it stuns them for a second. So if you get cut in half, you can't move for a second.
Very good strategy to have in this game. Cut someone apart, beat the shit out of them.
Yep.
I would love to see like full-blown fatalities in this game.
Claytalities?
Yes.
What a missed opportunity.
It might have happened on the 64 one, I'm not too sure, but don't quote me on that, folks.
I could see that on the 64 one. I did buy the second one and tried to play it, but I don't know. In my opinion, the characters aren't as cool, so I just kind of turned it off until maybe...
Nana man.
Maybe a later date we'll come back to 2? Maybe? Question mark?
We'll see if anyone listens to this one first.
So, your characters can get dizzy, just like, in some of the other Street Fighter and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like there's a reason exactly. It seems like it's kind of random. So, I don't know how that happens. So if you're getting your ass kicked, you might go dizzy randomly.
Yeah, after quite a few hits, you're like, oh, he's on the ropes. Oh, the announcer, dude.
Oh, yeah, the announcer's actually pretty fun through this. He's kind of giving some play-by-play.
Ichabod Clay versus Helga.
Now, you were talking kind of when he does you got him on the ropes and stuff like that.
I wouldn't want to get hit like that.
There's a little KO that appears over the top of the character. So if you hit your opponent several times in a row without getting hit, that's when that KO flash over their head. This can be lost if you don't do anything about it quick enough. If you hit them while they have the KO, it'll give your special move more of a strength boost. So
okay. I didn't know what that actually meant.
Yeah. So you get a little bit...
I just thought it was they're close to death, so I'm like, I'm going to smash you more now.
No, you do get a little bit stronger. The projectiles and the flattening attacks, we forgot to talk about that, but there's an attack where they'll jump up and slam on top of other characters and squish them. They don't get a boost when they're in the KO mode. And it makes some of the moves unblockable, so... Now, you have to be, standing right next to them, but it'll make them unblockable. And when you do that, it'll actually push both of the characters away from each other and separate them to each side of the screen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. For a game that's kind of wacky, there's a lot of strategy and stuff that you could put into this, so maybe it's not so...
We won't be seeing this at EVO anytime soon.
No, not at all. So, some of the changes from the regular to the tournament edition, there were extra colors added to some of the characters.
Yeah, because I went to go change character, like the color, because I like to have a pink pumpkin on my Ichabod, because it's just fabulous like that. But on the other game, you hit the button, and he just like walks right into the crazy clown head and starts the game. I like the changing the colors. I'm like, that's very Street Fighter Tournament Edition. Changing your shit.
Yeah. Well, I think Tiny had, like, when you played 2-player and you both picked Tiny had a tan color in the original, and they removed that, so I don't know what that's about.
It's 2019, you can't have blackface anymore.
In the Tournament Edition, the default game speed is at 4, and in the original, the game speed was 1. So it's a lot slower, a whole lot slower.
Yeah, I noticed that. The game was also a little bit harder, too, I found.
Yeah, I thought so, too. I didn't know if that was just me being terrible at this or what.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, am I just that bad? Like, I was doing okay on the second one, but it is what it is.
And like I said a minute ago, the combos and the juggling, you really couldn't do in the first one, but in this one they...
Unless you're Bonker, you can do a lot of juggling on fucking cream pies. Cream pie in your eyes.
Blob's Buzzsaw has priority of most moves, and it used to, in the old one, it would, like, if your character was blocking, he would just bounce off and keep coming back and just...
Yep.
You just... I don't... They changed a lot of stuff. There was a lot of game-breaking stuff with Blob.
That's why I played them as a kid, because my brother and cousins wouldn't know what the fuck was coming. Ha ha, motherfuckers. Here comes the blob saw.
Yeah. Well, they actually removed one of Blob's moves from the tournament edition because it was just way too overpowered. And then there was just a lot of balances and recovery time that was fixed throughout the tournament edition.
He used to turn to a gun, didn't he?
Ooh, I don't remember.
I remember it could have been one of the later games, but I remember him as a gun. It could have been from the 64 one again.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know.
I remember him turning into a boxing glove.
Yeah. He turns into a boxing glove and a shoe and
Wish he had his own game.
Right? Well, he kind of does, maybe?
Let's kickstart it.
Well, I was going to say Claymates is kind of a blob character.
Yeah, kind of. Animals.
It's the same company. And you know what? Real quick.
Those animals, like, come into... They're the ones that bring across, like, the round one and stuff.
Yeah.
You see the cat, the dog, the bird.
Yep. They're from the Claymates games, and they bring in they're the what are they called? Sign girls? The ring girls?
Yeah, like the UFC hot sign girls.
Yeah, except they're clay animals.
Not really hot. Girls who don't eat too much and then are there.
You just singled out our ring girl audience.
So what? Put a few pounds on, darling, and give me a call. Then my wife will fight you and win because she's super powerful. Her power level's over 9,000!
Ah!
I think I dug myself out of that one.
So in the tournament edition, they actually expanded the intro so you actually kind of understood more of the story, and they had a few more cutscenes and more text and stuff. And in this game, Tiny, Ichabod, and Bonker are considered top-tier fighters, while Blue Suede Goo is at the bottom. And that's the fucker I was losing it to every single time when I was
Come on, get your shit together, man. You're letting Elvis step all over you?
Yep.
Every time you mention him, I'm going to do an Elvis thing.
Let's talk about the music real quick. We gotta touch on the music.
And that was the music.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean,
I listened to it on my first two playthroughs, and it's okay for what it is, but I just put on actual music, to be honest with you. So I'm like, I'm done with this. It's okay, but it's not the greatest I've ever heard.
No, the Clay Fighter music at the very beginning, though, it's like, Clay Fighter, Clay Fighter. Like, you could almost sing that with it. Clay Fighter! Like, it's ridiculous. But the rest of it is just dull and boring.
Yeah, it very much is.
It doesn't even really add to the character.
Like Ichabod's level wasn't bad, but, like, I wish they had, like, a rip-off, more of like a stylized version of a rip-off Elvis song for Blue Suede Goose level?
They kind of did, but it just wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted a bit more out of the music.
You know what? I know what this music reminded me of. Home Alone music. It just didn't.
It's still stuck in my head.
It didn't have any heart or anything to it. You know, it just kind of was bland. I think it was. You know, they put so much work into the clay characters.
Exactly.
It feels like they overlooked the music completely and the gameplay.
For the game that's so stylish looking, like, you think you'd bump it up with a banging soundtrack. Like, this is Super Nintendo. You can put some awesome music on the Super Mario World. Still one of the best soundtracks on this, like, planet for video games. Why couldn't that get a little bit of love into this?
Right. I mean, I
know it's not the same developers or anything, but the technology is there to have it so you have a better soundtrack.
Right.
And better graphics and better this and that and the other thing.
I really do. I feel like they put so much time into how the game looked, and it looks great. Like, it looks fun. It looks like something that you'd want to play if you were a kid.
Oh, it suckered us both in this, kids.
Yeah, no, it really did. But, like, as an adult and being in the future, not being a kid anymore, I can see the flaws in the gameplay. I can hear the flaws in the music. It still looks cool to me because of nostalgia, but I don't know. The music's just not there. It just kills it for me, man.
The announcer, though, the sound effects are really good.
Sound effects are not bad. They're not bad.
I love when you hit someone, thwap, thwap. I don't know. I really enjoy that noise, and I'm really enjoying also the visual of the little Biff Bob, like the Batman things.
What was it?
Like when you hit someone, it's like Biff, pow.
Oh yeah.
Just like Batman.
I like the animations that it's got after you defeat one of the characters, like Ichabod. He falls over and his head just kind of explodes all over the ground.
Yeah, and it looks like a used cum stock on the ground.
Ew, he does. That's
yeah,
so gross.
It's the first thing I thought of.
Ugh. Yeah, not me. But now I'm never gonna get that out. I'm not speedrunning it anymore because I don't want to see Ichabod die.
Icky goo sock.
But yeah, it's got some cool animations and everything. It just falls flat on the music and. Ugh.
Yeah, the announcer is the best part of the music. I can't. Maybe that's where the music failed on this game. They had too much of the audio quality or the audio file into the announcer. So that would make sense. Yeah,
because it's actual, like, real voiceover. It's not like, I mean, it's digitized, but it's not like...
He'll come in during the match and, like, just say something random, but it's like, it's still there. You don't really get that besides a toasty in, like, the other fighting games.
Or round one, fight.
Yeah.
I feel like
this guy he goes off when you're beating someone up.
Yeah, I think he does have a lot more to say than in some of the other games.
Oh, man, I made some clay fighters, like, toys that are real clay and I have them baking in the oven right now. I smell burning. I'll be right back.
God damn it, Goobs. Why do you always do this shit when we're right in the middle of a show? You always leave. I can't believe this is super unprofessional. Well, I'm just gonna... I guess I got this little bit of clay in my hands right here. I guess I'm just gonna play with it and I'm gonna roll this into a ball, make a clay ball.
Oh, hello, Toby.
Hold on. This doesn't even make sense, Goobs Genie. How the hell did you come out of this piece of clay that I'm just rubbing around in my hands trying to make it into a ball?
Because you made two blue balls, and that's where I come out of.
Ah, that makes sense. Well, how you doing, Goobs Genie? I shouldn't complain.
I'm doing decent at best.
Do you come bearing some cheats of some sort, maybe?
I definitely do, but I'm covered in goo. Blue suede goo, that is.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
So, if you want to get a whole bunch of tiny characters during your game, or your tournament with your friends, first you gotta pick player 1 as Bad Mr. Frosty. Change the name to Posse, P-O-S-S-E, not Pussy, Posse.
Oh, good call.
Player 2 must be Bad Mr. Frosty. Change name to Jason, A, space A, Jason space A. Always put the space there before the A, just like the tank before the anus. Player 3, the Blob, changed name to Steve Spacey. He's like Steve Spacey, but he's not a Spacey, he's just Steve Spacey.
Space C.
Player 4 Taffy. Change names as John Space S. Start the game and all fighters will be super small. Oh, just like your testicles, Toby. Oh, Goof's Jimmy out. Oh.
What a bastard. How did he come out of this clay? I still don't understand.
Who's coming out of what clay? Are you coming to clay fighters?
No, the Goobs Genie was here again. Goobs, how does it always work out that you leave and he shows up? It's weird.
I don't get it. I always have something to do. Like, I don't know why these errands just have to come in during the show, but they do.
Yeah, it's getting annoying. You want to hear some fun facts?
It's time for fun facts with Toby. Pring!
Okay, Goobs. We're playing the game again.
Oh shit, here we go.
How much is this game?
I got it perfect last episode, both of them.
I think I even we need to make sure we have the a good segment name for this because I think I've already changed it twice. But anyways, you were perfect last episode. Now, can you go 2 for 30 or however long we've been doing this?
So we're going loose American price.
Loose American price.
$15.
This is just the cartridge, the Super Nintendo.
We're talking original or tournament?
Tournament. We're gonna do the
$20.
tournament 'cause that's what we played, Goobs. How much?
20.
You think for loose, this game goes for $20?
15.
You think for 15?
Yes.
This game is loose for $15.
It's 20, isn't it? Fuck you, it's 15.
I like that the anticipation's killing you. $11 loose.
Shit.
That's right, just $11. Now, closed in box. This is with the booklet and the box.
CIB, motherfucker.
CIB. This is not sealed. This is, you can get into it, you can put the game in your system and put it back in there for safekeepings.
$27.
You're saying $27 for the box, the manual, and the game.
Yeah, I normally go double plus one.
Well, you were close. It's $30.
Damn it.
So, if you're looking for it, don't overpay. Pay about $30. And that's still kind of overpaying. Okay.
Same price as Shaq Fu in box.
Yeah, no joke. Which I may or may not have bought in recently.
And I hate you for that. Just to have that new collection, I hate you.
Anyways, that's a conversation for another day.
And that's another story for another time. I beat Shaq to death with his own shoe.
So, here's some fun facts. In the original Clay Fighter on the Super Nintendo, I couldn't remember if this said it in the Tournament Edition because I didn't beat it with Olga or Helga. What's her name?
Helga.
I put Olga. I'm an idiot.
You would. You're racist against opera singers.
Anyways, her ending says that she turned down a marriage proposal from Olaf the Stout, which you may remember.
Yes.
Lost Vikings.
Lost Vikings, motherfucker.
So it's the same company. So I thought
Well, what a bitch to turn him down, man.
I thought that was kind of neat that they tied this in with the Lost Vikings. But it says that she turned down a proposal from him and married Tiny. Aww.
Man, that bitch all about looks, man.
I know.
This guy with a tiny head and fucking huge abs, fuck off.
Olaf the Stout risked his life to go through time and space.
Couple times.
Yeah, he did a couple times.
I guess his shield couldn't protect him from her cold heart.
Oh, that's sad. Oh.
Team Olaf.
The Tournament Edition was an exclusive for the Super Nintendo that Sega didn't get, which we already talked about. So I don't know why I'm telling you again. Fun fact. I don't know why I told you
Fun
that.
facts. I'm repeating fun facts.
So a few changes have been made to the stages, like you're saying, which I didn't notice. The intro is different. It's got bug fixes.
Well, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. This was one that I thought was really interesting, and we didn't even touch on, but the boss of the game is called In-Boss. And in the original, the normal Clay Fighter game, there's a glitch to where you can play as In-Boss.
Oh, really? You can be that floating ball sack dude?
Yeah.
Why is every boss a ball sack?
I don't know. He's in a circle. He's like a circle of balls, and he's got eyes. Isn't that right? Is that how you describe him?
Yes, and he has like the other Clay fighters' moves.
Right.
They can throw cream pies out of his balls.
And it's funny because his name is N Boss, which is making fun of M Bison, and it's also a play on words for end boss.
Yes.
End boss. So, haha. I thought that was pretty clever, though. So, but yeah, you can't play him in the tournament edition, but you can somehow do the glitch to play as him in the regular edition. I don't know if that applies to Sega, though. I don't know if you can be him in the Sega version.
I'm not too sure about that. Someone let us know.
Yeah.
We're just professionals here.
So, again, this one is called Tournament Edition. It has that tournament mode that Goobs Genie was telling us about earlier, how you set the name.
What the fuck you keep talking about this Goobs Genie? There's only one Goobs on this show.
Yeah. Long story. Anyway, so there's this tournament mode, and you can have 8 different people partake in this. And you can have, there's different options. You can have, it's like a bracket tournament. And you can have different options like sudden death mode. So it's one round, and then you move on to the next one. You move on to the next match.
King of the Ring with Clay.
Yeah. They also didn't add any new characters or movesets from the original to the tournament, which I think they should have. They should have added at least one more
There's
character.
a big shit. Yeah, they should have put 2 in at least.
Right.
Street Fighter, you got 4.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So in the beta version, they show some of the characters with different names. Like Ichabod was going to be Ghost Guy. Blue Suede Goo. This one's my favorite. This is what they should have gone with. Blue Suede Goo was going to be Elvis the Impersonator.
I would have called him Pelvis.
Helga was going to be Val. Tiny was going to be Crush.
Oh, like Valkyrie?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Blob was going to have an attack called Blob Bomb, and is in the game codes, and it can actually be used with a Game Genie. Not a Goobs Genie, but a Game Genie.
Okay. I was about to get really irate.
I figured you were.
Up in this motherfucker.
And there was supposed to be a bonus stage. I don't know what happened to that.
We ran out of room with the voice actor doing all the fight commentary.
Yeah, if they would have tried to add anything else, the lag would have been way worse.
Because the lag is real again in this game. It is so real.
But that's it. I don't really have much more on fun facts. So
it's time to fucking rage!
Oh, come on!
So this is the patented Rage Meter, where we give a 1 to 10 scale of how pissed off this game makes us. And 1 being, it doesn't make you mad at all. 10 being...
10 being you want to shove powder from a sour key down your pee hole.
Ooh.
Yeah. That'd make you rage, wouldn't it?
It'd make me something.
Where you shove a whole fucking sour key down your pee hole, because people have toys that can stretch their pee holes for some fucking reason.
Oh, let's talk about the game. So, Goobs, on a 1 to 10 scale, what did this game rage you out at?
Oh, this is definitely a 6 for me.
A 6? Please explain.
Well, on my few playthroughs, as you said, like when you get to later levels, it gets a little bit frustrating when you're trying to cheese everyone by tail whipping everything in sight, which you try to do in this game, try to get a fast time. But then people just come at you hard, and they come at you often, just as they do in real life. Ain't that right, Crumb? But,
check out Casual Sex with Crumb.
Yeah, you'll get all of our sexual jokes by then. By listening to him, not by then. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it wasn't too difficult of a game, but some things just really set you off. The lag gets at least 3 points on my rage meter, because you got a good combo going on, because I found it kind of hard for myself to do combos in this game. Might be easier for other people. But I get a good combo going, and then all of a sudden, like, it lags, and you're like, fuck, and then Helga's coming flying at you, giving you a big hit. And I always found out the computer's moves are way stronger than my own. Sometimes you get a hit, like, 75% of your life bar goes away. You're like, okay, what the fuck happened there? And then you keep trying to go and cheese them a bit and like do some moves, throw some pumpkin Hadoukens or turn to a saw blade, try to chop them in half. Just doesn't work, folks. And then you get upset and you gotta start the game all over again. And that's what happens in Clay Fighter. You gotta rebuild, remaster, and reclaim.
Reclay.
Reclay. Oh, there we go. Thank you for that pun there, Toby.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, so solid 6 from your boy Goobs.
I'm gonna go with the 6 too. I think the lag is an issue.
Serious issue.
It's just it's rage-inducing because it just doesn't have enough moves. Like, it's really, really basic. So you have to cheat, basically. Like, you have to get cheap with your moves because there's only a handful of moves for each character.
I found every punch and kick were the exact same.
Yeah, I couldn't really see a difference between the strong and the low, whatever.
At least in Street Fighter, you see like a bit of a difference. I know I keep going back to Street Fighter, but...
Well, I mean, that's a good standard to measure it with, as Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. Like, when you do a low punch, it even changes the animation in those games. In this one, it's almost exactly the same, if it's not the same, you know? So it's hard to tell. There's some buggy things. I think that lag is what's really holding me back on this one. Is the lag was just so bad. So yeah, like I said, it's just the game's just too basic. It's just too bare bones. If they would have put some more into it, I think you could have had a better game. But hell, you're already lagging as hard as you are, so I don't know if they could have done much. They
relied way too much on the like claymation aspect of the game and the commentator. That's what it sums it up as.
So we're both giving it a 6 for the rage meter. But you know what we do after we rage, Goobs?
We rate this game, and we hear some nice happy music right about now. We go on, we rate this game from 1 to 10, how much you hate it to how much you love it. Is it going to be high praises, or are you going to send this game straight to gaming hell, along with E.T. in some desert somewhere in Mexico, or New Mexico, some kind of Mexico? I wish I was in Mexico right now, watching a donkey show. But anyway, we're going to rate this game. Toby, why don't you rate it?
Okay. I'm going to give this game, and man, it's really, really hard to place this one because it's not as bad as Shaq Fu. I think it had a lot more fun stuff going on than Shaq Fu. It's nowhere near Street Fighter.
The characters are way more memorable.
The characters are way more memorable. I couldn't tell you one of the names of the Shaq Fu characters except Shaq.
Isn't Tigra one of them?
Maybe. Who cares?
We'll find out.
So I'm really having a hard time because we haven't played too many fighting games on the show for the rating measurement. So I'm gonna give it a 4, and I'm giving it a 4 just because I do like the clay animations, I do like the announcer, I like the characters. I just think it's too basic, it's too bare bones. The lag is an issue. They didn't fix hardly enough of the bugs and the overpoweredness of some of the characters. Now, they may have corrected a lot of stuff, but they still had a lot of stuff that they needed to address before they rushed out the tournament edition. And they needed to add another damn character or two. I wish I would have noticed the backgrounds being different, but I just didn't pay attention to that.
You will notice them next time you play the first one.
I guarantee you I will, but... I did like the backgrounds of the tournament edition. I thought they were interesting enough. The lag, it goes back to the lag, the basicness of this game. So a 4 is as good as I can give it, and that's me wanting it to be better. I wish it was because I have so much nostalgia. Like I said, I rented this game quite a few times as a kid. I never owned it until just recently, but it was something that I did go back to because of the characters and how fun I thought it was as a dumb kid. It just doesn't hold up anymore. So, Goobs, what do you got for it?
I gotta go a little bit higher at least.
Okay.
Because this game does hold some nostalgia for me. Like you, I rented this game a lot. We talked about that. You covered a lot of good points on this already. They really fucked up where they don't the other character thing really pisses me off. And everything else that you mentioned before. I don't want to keep fucking beating a dead tree or beating a dead horse or beating a dead claymate. What was that?
Beating a dead tree?
Yeah, well, that gets you nowhere, right? Just like beating a dead horse. You can beat a dead tree all you want, but this ain't going to change anything. The tree's still dead. You ain't going to bring it home for Christmas. But, yeah, I'm going to give this game a 5. Right down the middle.
5? Okay. That's, again...
It's fun. I had a lot of fun on my playthrough, like, going back and seeing these characters again. The sprites and, like, their quirkiness really brought me back into this game. Because everyone has their individual personalities, and that's a big thing for me in game. When the character has personality, I can really relate to them. Like, yeah, shit, yeah, let's give me an Elvis guy. I fucking love Elvis. All day long. Ichabod Crane, like... Taffy Man, because I'd love to be a Taffy Man, because everyone wants to be a Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I just don't feel like it holds up today, so that's why I went with the 4.
Yeah, it doesn't really hold up today, but it's a fun trip back in memory lane, brings you back to the good old days. Yeah, again, the music isn't there at all. No. Commentator's on point, really enjoyed him. I was laughing a couple times when he, like, chime in. Kind of during, like, a Pokemon battle. You get the guy on Pokemon Stadium 64.
Yeah, that's even kind of what he sounded like, too, huh?
Yeah, he sounds just like him. He's not nearly as good as the commentator for NBA Jam. If they had him on this game, it must be the goo!
I would like to see a newer version of this game, though. I think that would be interesting.
Well, they brought back Killer Instinct recently, so...
Yeah, I would
the last few years, at least.
I'd like to see it. I think that would be interesting at the most.
Well, let's kickstart it.
Hey, we're Interplay, don't worry. If you've got the copyright or whatever...
we got this. All of us in our loyal fan base.
Yeah. So, our score together, yours being a 5, mine being a 4, we were giving it a 4.
4.5. Science.
Science. Blinded me with science.
He took my fucking line, dude. You fucking gerbil master.
Hey, don't tell anyone.
Finish him.
So this is the part of the show where we tell you about our other shows and we end this damn show so you can listen to other podcasts. Our podcast, that is. So, Goobs, will you tell them about your other shows so they'll go listen to
You must listen to everything we do. If not, Goobs will self-destruct. You can go listen to The Derailers at The Derailers on Twitter. Go follow them. It's a show with my wonderful wife, Jenny Bean, and my best friend, Ripkin. We take the train off the tracks every single day of the week. If you want to listen to us that much, that is. And we have a lot of fun. We pick a random topic and then just go from there. Some days we'll talk about horses with soldiers for brains. Some days we'll go for a random box at random. And then on the other hand, brother, you can jump on to Derailed Wrestling on YouTube, and we make a whole bunch of different wrestlers, CAWs, that's what we call them, throw them right into the square circle, and watch them smash each other's faces in for our entertainment. They have a bunch of the somebodies on there, a bunch of people we made ourselves, and the storylines are original, commentary decent at best. Go check out Derailed Wrestling on YouTube. And as far as I go check me out. I'm on Twitter, GoobsWN. Toby, yourself. Make that entertaining, motherfucker.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Toby Von Doom. And for my other show, you can check us out on all the major podcasting platforms. We're called Secret Transmission. We talk about conspiracies. We talk about aliens. We talk about the paranormal. And we talk about cryptids. So,
Sasquatch.
So, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Secret Transpod.
But what about this show, Toby?
Goobs, this show, you can go to Instagram and Twitter and follow us at Secret Levels Pod. You can check us out on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We also have that group to pick the game of the month and just general chat.
And that's how this baby of a show came to be. You guys help us conceive a baby.
Clay baby.
A clay baby.
So yeah, go look for that group, Secret Levels group. Join it. Join our discussions that we have, and pick the games that you want us to either have fun or not so much fun. This was still a fun playthrough. I'm not gonna shit on it completely. It was
still fun.
Yeah,
let's just say you gave it a 4.
I just don't want to play it again anytime soon, unless I'm gonna try to speedrun it again. Yeah, Goobs, what about some support? How could you support this damn show?
Well, if you love listening to us two buffoons here talking about video games every single week, we're not buffoons. We're lovely buffoons. We're love-foons.
Yeah, the Vicio games.
Talk about the Vidya games.
Vidya games.
You can go to www.tpublic.com/user/secret levels and go get wonderful, wonderful t-shirts and show the love for your best gaming bros on your chest. Like, people walk around like, whoa, shit, you listen to Secret Levels? Like, fuck yeah, I do. Want to get laid? No, I don't, because I'm in a marriage right now. And then you walk off. And they're like, oh, shit, man, you listen to Secret Levels? Yeah, you want a record label? Fuck yeah, I do, because I'm a rapper now. SoundCloud. Tattoos on my face, motherfucker. Shit will happen if you have a Secret Levels tattoo. Not a Secret Levels tattoo, a Secret Levels t-shirt on your face. If you want to get a Secret Levels tattoo, fucking, if that's what you want to do, go for it.
We will send you a sticker.
I'll send you a fucking autograph. 8x10.
Oh my gosh. You know someone's going to be like, hey, Toby Goobs, I want that sticker. I got that tattoo. We're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's going to be me sending you a message like, hey, Toby, I got a tattoo of me and you, like us Mario people. Send me a sticker. I sent you a box of shit. I know, but I need a sticker now.
Hey, I do want to say, if anyone wants to leave us a review on iTunes, if you send us a message after you leave us a review, take a screenshot of it. Send us a message. I'll send you some damn stickers.
Yeah, stickers will be sent. Don't you like stickers? We like stickers. I have them on the back of my car and shit.
Yeah, they're good stickers. So leave us a review and we will send you a sticker.
Kids seem to like them.
Stuart, get a good look at this. This circus looks like it's been hit by a meteor or something.
Yeah, there's definitely a big ball of flame right now. What the fuck? Is that Mr. Frosty walking towards us?
A snow... What is this? Is that a big giant piece of taffy coming at us?
Oh man, I'm pretty hungry. Holy shit! Elvis is back from the grave. I need to call my mom right now. She's a big fan of Elvis.
I don't know. What about that floating pumpkin guy? This is not right, man.
No, man, but it ain't all over till the fat lady sings.
Oh gosh, there's a fat lady. Okay, we gotta take these creatures out. They're crazy looking in clay.
Okay, stand back. We are armed and we are dangerous, and we're about to open fire unless you stop moving and hit the positions on the ground.
Just step back. Step back. They're coming for us. We gotta shoot.
Okay, you had a final warning.
Our bullets are doing nothing to him. Stuart, is that your name?
Yes, that is my name, Dwayne.
Stuart, my bullets, they're just going right through them. What do we do?
I got a hand grenade, that's all I got here.
Throw it, just throw it. I don't know why we're police officers with hand grenades, but just throw it.
And pull it.
No, they're still coming at us. Maybe we can just fight them off with our hands.
Yeah, let's fist fight them. We know we got brass knuckles. Here, take one, Dwayne.
Thank you, Stuart.
We got this. 911 for life. Ow, yeah.
The clay, it's
forming onto me. No. I love you, Dwayne. Game over, folks.